everybody, Elizabeth here, and welcome to today's episode of our dog training advent calendar. So get your dog and let's get started. For today's training session, you're going to need your clicker and treats as always. Today we're also going to need a bed or a blanket, someplace where your dog is comfortable, someplace where he likes to go and lay down. It doesn't have to be a bed that he already uses, and it doesn't have to be a crate. It's just someplace that we can teach them to go and lay down, because that's what we're going to teach today. Is we're going to teach a cue. That means go to this spot, go to this bed, and lay down and stay there. All right, let's start our session today with a little training warm-up. How about? So we're going to review some of the behaviors that we've worked on so far. You can throw in any kind of behaviors that your dog already knows, or if you want to follow along with me. The behaviors I'll be working on with Kaya right now, we'll be practicing watch, which means give me eye contact. We'll be practicing hand touch, which means touch my hand with your nose. And we'll do some downs too. We're going to be using our downs today in this session, so we want her practicing downs, so it's a good warm up for that. Okay, so watch, touch, and down. Let's take 10 treats in our hand. 10 treats in the hand. And we're just going to randomly mix up. So we'll do a couple watches, a couple touches, a couple downs, and then mix it up until all 10 treats are gone. And then we'll go ahead and stop and get started for today's session. Okay? All right, if you're ready, you can work along with me. We're going to start with a watch. She does a watch. Sends her eyes to my eye, get a click, give her the treat. Watch. Nice. Touch. Down. Watch. Good. Good girl. Yay. So that was 10 treats. Tell your dog how good she is. Good girl. Good girl. So a little bit of a warm-up session, kind of get some engaged and get some ready for this session. Good. All right. So now we're going to roll right into teaching them to lay down and stay on the mat. Okay. So our goal today is going to be for her to go from anywhere in the room right onto the mat and lay down when I say the word place. Great. Great. If you've been following along with the Advent calendar, we were practicing down on the bed. So if you've got that behavior, that's really useful. If you haven't been practicing, no problem, jump right in. But we're just going to start with reinforcing our dog for laying down on the bed. Okay? So if your dog will lay down without a cue, that is preferable. Okay? So you're going to just get your dog over to the bed. If you want to, you can use a little hand motion to get her over to the bed, or use a tree lure. And then once she's on the bed, when she lays down, you're just going to click and treat. So we're going to take, why don't we take just 5 treats? Let's just do 5. She's on the bed, and I just wait for her to lay down, and then click when she does. Okay? Now let's just get you up into a sit, and then wait for her to lay down. Just use your hand motion to get her sitting or standing. Looking at her toes, so I'm looking at the bed. Just waiting for her to lay down. Okay, so we're just reviewing right now. When you're on the bed, you lay down. Okay? This is going to be the last step of our behavior of go to the bed and lay down. So she's remembering now. Okay, I'm on the bed, I lay down. Okay. Again, there's no cue. Although, if your dog is having trouble just offering to lay down, if he's not thinking about laying down and he does know the cue down, you can go ahead and cue that a couple times. But ideally, they're going to be able to lay down on the bed without the cue before we move on to the next step. So if you can just get 1 or 2 of those. What are you sitting? I didn't have any drinks. Good. There you go. All right, that's our 5 treat time. time, we're going to do the same thing. Click when she lays down on the bed and give her the treat. But then instead of just pulling her up into a sit, we're gonna actually get her off the bed again. And then I'm not gonna motion her to get back on the bed. I'm not gonna cue her at all to get on the bed. I'm hoping that she's just gonna think about it on her own because she's done so many of these downs on the bed already today that I'm hoping that she just remembers, okay, maybe that's what she wants. And then she'll come and offer that behavior, okay? So I'm gonna wait for her to lay down. Very good. Place that down, and now I'm just gonna motion to get her off the bed. So you just want her a step or two off the bed. You see that Kaya is laying down off the bed. And so I'm just keeping my eyes on the bed. I'm looking at the bed, I'm not looking at her. And just waiting. And she's gonna figure out, okay, she wants it down. She wants me to go down, but she doesn't want me to go down. Good girl. And let them on the bed. That's excellent. Good job. Oh, you figured it out that time. So you see she's just a step or two off the bed. Not all the way across the bed, but just a little bit. Should be easy. Sometimes even, especially with large dogs, even if they can just get 1 or 2 feet off the bed, you're not gonna have to get their whole body off the bed. Also, my criteria for this is that I want the dog's elbows on the bed. Okay, Kaya is being great in putting all of her body on the bed. That's really nice. It's easier to do that if you've got a raised bed, so we like raised beds for that. But even with a large dog, sometimes it's a little bit of work for them to get their whole body onto the bed. So if they just put their elbows on, both elbows on the bed, I'll go ahead and click that too. So you don't have to be completely on the bed when you click. Just elbows on the bed. Cool. Very good. All right, that was 10 tries. Good job, Mickey. Good girl. Good girl. Okay. So one more session. You ready? Let's do another one. You ready? Okay, this time let's take 20 treats in our hand. Okay? All right, I have 20 treats in my hand. So this time what we're gonna do, same as before, we're clicking when she gets her elbows on the bed, click and treat. And now instead of just gesturing her just a foot or two off the bed, I'm actually gonna toss the treat so that she gets several steps off the bed. So I'm adding distance, increasing that distance from where she starts to where she finishes on the bed, okay? Hi. There, all the way on the floor. All right, so elbows on the bed, gets you a click and treat. Now I take a second treat and toss it on the floor so she walks several steps off the bed to get that treat. And then I'm still looking at the bed so that she comes back and says, hey, what are you looking at? You're looking at the bed? I'll come in. Girl. Good girl. So I click when she lays on the bed. I'm not clicking when she gets off the bed. I'm just tossing a treat. Do you miss that one? It's helpful if your treats are contrasting colors to your floor. So if you have brown floors like I do, you probably don't want to use brown treats like I do. It's a little tricky for you dog to find them, huh? I need you down to though. You're good. Come on, sweetie. Hi. On the bed. And our dogs are learning to put their attention wherever our attention is at. That's important too, huh? Yeah. Okay. Alright, that's 10. That 10 treats, 10 rewards for you. Good girl. Good girl. When you come back. Yeah. We'll take a little break. That's a hard one, huh? when we're not cueing behaviors, we want them offering these behaviors. It does make it a little bit more challenging because they have to use the brains and really figure out what it is that we might want. So that's good. We want your brain thinking. We want you figuring this out. Good. Good. Okay. All right, one more session. Same thing. Let's just take 10 treats in our hand. We'll make it short. 10 treats. We're going to do the same as we just did, except this time we're going to add the cue. So the cue is the word place. I'm going to toss the treat off the bed. She's going to eat that treat. And then I know that as soon as she eats that treat, she's going to be coming right back to the bed. So when she eats that treat, that's when I want to cue place. And then she comes to the bed and lays down, just like she's been doing. Okay, so I can predict that as soon as she eats that treat, she's going to come back to the bed. So that's when I want to go ahead and say that cue. So we've got 10 treats in our hand. We're just going to do 5 trials. It takes 2 treats per trial this time. Yeah, so let's start with you off the bed. She eats the treat. Place. Good. So everything else is the same. I say place. I look at the bed. I click when her elbows hit the bed. I'm not clicking when I say place. Place. Good girl. I want it to look like that I'm telling her a place and she does it. Place. So we all know that she would do the behavior regardless of whether I cued it. Yeah, because that's what she's been doing. Place. Place. It helps when you're teaching a cue. You say the cue at the same time as voice every time too. That's also not fun. Okay, let's do one more. Let's do one more. Place. Good girl. Very good. Okay? Let's go ahead and stop there. Your brain's working really hard today. Thank you guys for joining me today for this training session. I hope you had a good time with that one. If you did like it, please be sure and click like and subscribe down at the bottom of the screen. As always, share with your friends, comment at the bottom. Love to hear from you. And I will see you again tomorrow for another episode of our dog training advent calendar. See you then.